Hey friends, it's Tracey and Violet from Tea Time with Tracey and Violet. Violet is right down here sniffing my knee. Now I just got done doing a video of books that I read this month, but one of the books I read I haven't got a chance to talk about, so I thought I'll do a separate video about that, and we'll have a little teacup chat because I made a whole pot of tea and I want some more tea, and I want to talk about some books or a book that I read. I just finished it yesterday. I'll show you my cup. If you watched my last video, you would have seen this, but I'll show you it anyways. Look. I know you've seen cups like this, similar to this before, but she has a secret weapon. Pow, pow, pow. Show them, girls. Yeah. Boom, boom, pow, pow. You know that song. Anyways, look at the gold down at the bottom. Solid gold. Up at the top, she has a solid gold shoulder pad, you know, gold down this side and this side, but not like down her elbow side. Yeah. And then this is her skirt or pedestal. There. And it's Queen Anne bone china, England, and then gold marker that's been baked in or something like that. So, and I'm having some Earl Grey tea. Tonight I'm using this little teapot, and I even have my creamer, some milk in here, some cream in here. So, anyways, yeah. Let's have a little sniff. It's good and hot too. I can't believe tomorrow is October 1st. By the time you're seeing this, is just, yeah, Halloween month. My birthday month too, actually. Anyways, the book I want to talk to you about is Dracula in Love by John Shirley. This book was published in 1979. This is like a reprint of it. And I don't really know what to say about this book. I don't think I've seen a review of this or anybody talk about this on YouTube. I came across this book on Amazon. It popped up when I was looking for horror, disturbing, strange, weird horror. I don't know all the different tropes of horror, like cosmic horror, bizarro horror, or what are the other ones? I don't know what they all mean, but this certainly falls into that category. Those kind of categories, kind of. So this story starts off with Vlad. He's some sort of big computer whiz in this big wig company, like an important hotshot, and he's kind of a dink and an arsehole, kind of. Well, he's just an entitled prick, is what he is. He gets this random letter out of the blue, and he was kind of scared to open it because he feels this weird heebie-jeebie kind of energy from it. And it's sealed, like one of those old-fashioned sealed with a stamp, you know, melted wax or whatever it is. It's sealed, like old school. When he opens up this letter, turns out it's from his father, who he never grew up with his father. He never knew who his father was. And his father wants to meet him. But he grew up with no father, and he doesn't need no father, but he's always been kind of curious. His mother is no longer in the picture. I think she passed. I can't really recall right off the bat. But he wants to set up a meeting so he can meet his son. His father is Dracula, okay? So Vlad, let me just give you the lowdown on Vlad. Like I say, he's a big wig in this big computer software, financial something or other. He grew up, and even in his adult life, he belonged to this club about vampires, like people that liked vampires. Vampires aren't real, you know what I mean? He had just the fascination with the occult in vampires, and they'd have occasional meetings and things like that, like fan clubs. He was one of those kind of people, which, fine. It's all good. Everybody has interests in different things. Um, as long as you don't take it to another level, if you know what I'm saying, with anything. But that's a whole nother, not going to talk about that with this book. But anyways, he gets this letter and he's nervous about going to see his father. His father has taken residence at Vlad's old family home. Vlad doesn't live there. It's kind of run down. It's a big old monster of a house. And this letter instructs him to come alone. And it's very old-fashioned, the writing that's in this letter. Like, Dracula stated that he tried to call him, but the insolent person on the phone refused me. They should be terminated immediately or dismembered or something like that. It goes from, he's very extreme, okay? And Dracula says, in 2 weeks' time, I need you to come here so we can meet at this time. Come alone and don't be late. I know you're not going to be late because you are my son and you're perfect. And yeah, that sort of thing. So Vlad is not used to people telling him what to do. First of all, he goes home, and Vlad is so wealthy. He has his own housekeeper butler fella. Jolston is his name. And like live-in person. Yeah. When he arrives home, either that same night he got the letter or shortly thereafter, Jolston tells Vlad there's somebody in his study to see him. And Vlad's kind of taken aback because even Jolston doesn't have a key to his study, like to his library office thing. Like, how the heck did anybody get in there, And he's furious because he's like, he's going to tear Jolston a new one. But who was this person in my office? And he goes in, and there's this old man, kind of old, big, burly, white beard man, cock of the walk kind of guy. They're waiting for him. The funny thing is, it's not the same looking guy that Jolston seen when they first met, or like when he first showed up there. This guy obviously can change forms, okay? Turns out this guy is Lucifer. Yeah, the Lucifer. And he wants to get a hold of Vlad before Vlad meets his father Dracula. Because Vlad, well, being his son, might have some sort of pull with Dracula. Because Dracula is a mean bugger. He kills, he's setting this city on fire with an epidemic. A rape epidemic. So this book, I just need to say, is very disturbing. Very taboo topics, very sensitive things. This is certainly not for everybody. Kind of disgusting and weird. But yes, this Dracula, he kills and sexually abuses women when he wants to. Now, it's not all through this book, but there are some circumstances that it happens. And it's not straightforward. I'm just saying. But I don't want to give it all away. Okay, so Lucifer wants to get a hold of Vlad to try to get Vlad to wrangle in Dracula before Dracula goes way overboard. And even though Vlad has never met Dracula, he has these conflicting feelings inside of him because he's my actual father. Should I have some sort of loyalty to him? Should I feel something? How can I don't even know this Lucifer. I don't even know. And then on top of that, like, his eyes are open to something more than the human realm, sort of thing. So eventually, Vlad goes to meet Dracula. And yeah, he gets kind of sucked in. He doesn't like Dracula, but he has some sort of magnetic pull to him. And I don't know what Violet's doing. Oh, another thing I should say. Vlad was married but is divorced, but he still has his wife over sometimes. And he has this fascination with his wife, who's extremely thin, almost translucent and cold. So he has a fascination with being affectionate with a cold, skinny wife who's addicted to morphine. There's just a lot of different elements in this. So when I say cold dead, it's the whole, he likes the dead sensation, even though she's not dead. Like, it's like, what the hell am I reading here? You know? Anyways, Vlad gets sucked in with Dracula, and Dracula has these elaborate plans to cause a huge uproar, which there's already an uproar going on in the city, but Vlad wants a way to get away from Dracula, even though he has this mental connection with his father, because his father ends up doing something to him to make sure that he has some sort of a pull on him. And it goes from there. There's so many weird things in this. Lucifer's influence in this story too. He's like higher than Dracula, okay? But for some reason he can't go and snuff him out for some reason. I still don't quite understand it. And Lucifer can take many different forms, which you realize at the end how many people Lucifer actually was. And it blows my mind, some of them, like the circumstances. So anyways, let me just quickly read the back of it. This might explain it more because, well, it doesn't really, but the moment Vladimir saw the letter, he felt an ominous chill. Then he opened it and found a note from his unknown father, a note signed by Dracula. A haunting and bizarre Dracula tale mixed with equally bizarre erotic love story. That's exactly it. It's bizarre. And there's erotic things in here. And I just have to tell you, Dracula's junk has a mind of its own, has eyes of its own. It's like its own little monster. So it's just bizarre. Like, that would terrify any man or woman. If you're into bizarre, weird, erotic tales, those don't... It's interesting to read it, okay? Like, I'm not into that kind of stuff in real life. I don't mind reading stuff that is really out in left field sometimes. I like to try to find something that just throws me for a loop. And this did, but in a weird way. This is a really weird book with disturbing content because rape is nothing to joke about. But yeah, I want to tell you so bad at the end of it, but I can't. The way Dracula is handled, I just have to tell you. I can't tell you, but it's funny and it's so strange. I can't explain it any other way without telling you what happened. So it makes me laugh, even though it's a horribly disturbing, weird book. But anyways, that's all I'll say about this. I just wanted to read it to see what the big whoop is about. If you guys have any suggestions about weird, disturbing, weird books, please let me know, because I won't shy away from stuff like that. I really won't. I'll just give you my 2 cents worth for it. So I would recommend it if you want to try this on for size. But I have to say, his writing, I found his writing style was phenomenal. Like, such an easy read. And I don't mean it like in the sense like, oh, it's so childlike. No, it's not. It's all adult stuff. But the way it flowed, amount of conversation. Violet, she's right there. What do you want, sweetheart? The way he writes is amazing to me. Like, he was one of the easiest writers that I could just read. I could devour. It almost felt like I was eating it. I could just devour like 5 pages in a couple of minutes, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I'll get up and fold some laundry, go back and read it, get up and do something else. Like, and it wasn't like a chore at all. So anyways, that's all I'll say about this book. Dracula in Love, John Shirley. So I do want to check out another story of his. Maybe he writes all this kind of weird stuff. I don't know. I've never. It's the first that I heard of it. But again, rape is not acceptable at all. But it is a fictional book, and it's a weird, bizarre book. And yeah. So, all right, guys. With that, I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness today and every single day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you so choose. But if not, that's okay too. I still love ya. I still want all the happiness in the world for each and every one of you out there. I certainly do. I really, really honest and truly do. Yes, I do. So, Violet, get out of my cupboard. Violet. All right. With that, I'm going to say have a good night or have a good morning. And I might see you tomorrow. Bye. Bloop.